Okay, this is La Sombra del Águila, or the Shadow of the Eagle. I am playing the Alcaniz 1809 battle. Just to clarify, this is a smaller format than normal. I would say normally battles from this Age of, or Shadow of the Eagle series, they average about a half map sheet. Yeah, this is more like a quarter. Yeah, this is about a quarter of a map sheet. So a smaller format battle. This comes from Alea, Spanish Wargaming magazine. It comes with 3 battles. In addition to this one, you get Maria and Castilla. Yeah, however you pronounce it. But anyways, I really like this series. I'm really surprised. I just don't know what to say. It just really gets me. I've mentioned this before. It has just barely enough in each of the kind of design categories that mean something to me. So I'll try to highlight those as I go. Okay, before I get started with some things that I got wrong right off the bat, well, yeah, I did get them wrong. I forgot about them. I'm talking about in general. I'm going to try to do a rough translation of the introduction here. I might have to skip something if I don't get it right, but this is just to get the gist. I was also wrong. I was definitely thrown off. I thought this was the very first installment of this series, but no, Medellin is the first. I've done some videos on Medellin. Great battle. Actually, I like the battle situation for Medellin. It has movement. Yeah, I'll just say it has movement, which is, always something to be appreciated. But I was thrown off because this edition of Alea magazine, it has number 1 on it, but it turns out that if I understand if I've translated correctly, no, this is number 1 doesn't refer to Alea edition number 1 or volume number 1. This is they call it a special edition. So it's number 1 of the special editions. It's not number 1 of the magazine. It's in its entirety. That's what led me to believe that this one came before Medellin. But I did double check, and by year Medellin comes before. I think Medellin was published a year before this edition of Alea with the 3 battles here. Okay, so introduction. The Shadow of the Eagle is a general system of rules, and I think this maybe means something like Grand Tactical. Oh, yeah, okay, maybe not. All right, I don't get that phrase, but it's for the Napoleonic period, through some various scenarios that represent a series of battles more or less important to the War of Independence in Spain, 1808 to 1814. The different scenarios, they present players with different situations or deployments for I guess that's saying maybe it's solitaire friendly. Oh, for solitaire play, or an introduction to something. Anyways, that was a horrible translation, but the gist of this. Okay, what did I get wrong? First of all, real quickly, the Battle of Alcaniz here. We've got a Spanish force first. They start on the map. there are a series of high points. There's a high point there, high point here, here, and then the Spanish cavalry is off here on the far left flank. So you got a cavalry formation here. This is a formation game, by the way. Not only, actually, but the design, by way of introduction, let me just say that, you know, maybe I'm sure people with a lot more wargaming experience than I can verify whether this is true or not, but it looks to me like this series, which was, this is a solid mid-90s design. It looks to me like the designer was trying to do a pretty faithful port from basically the state of miniatures wargaming at the time. So what to say about the design? I think it's pretty much where I would say probably state-of-the-art of Napoleonic miniatures designs were in the mid-90s. That's my impression. Okay, so this is a formations game. So these are battalions and, well, just they're basically battalion scale. By the way, this was what also threw me off. Another way to look at this game, which makes it, to me, it makes it interesting, is that the unit scale is effectively the same as the La Bataille series. So these are battalions, but the ground scale, I think, is 250 meters per hex, which is, you know, 2.5 times the scale. I think La Bataille is 100-meter hexes. Hope I'm not drastically wrong. I thought that was right. I thought it was about that. Anyways. That really gives a different feel. Obviously, you're going to have stacks here, and I really like it. I like it when games like this do not have a hard stacking limit. There is no hard stacking limit. You can stack as many units as you want in a hex. However, there are hard limits to the number of fire factors that can, you know, emanate from a hex, and there's a limit to the number of combat points or strength points that can melee from a hex, and there's also penalties for densely packed hexes for, I think, artillery fire. So, oh, and there are even movement point costs. Oh, and I'll say movement restrictions. There are movement restrictions with respect to dense. So you have all the effects of a densely packed hex without having a simple, like, unit or even strength point limit. I like that a lot. Okay, so this is a formations game. Not only is this a formations game, but you write down, yeah, you note down on a piece of paper, you note down on a piece of paper the orders. So this is an orders game. You have 6 orders, so it's not like you're not dealing with 3 or even 4 orders. You're dealing with 6 very distinct orders. Very distinct means there's like a harassment order, which I don't see often. There's a maneuver order and a retreat order, etc. So you have orders. You have orders by formation. Okay, so on the Spanish side, you have an overall commander, Blake. He's back here in the rear center. So again, you have a cavalry formation down here. You have an infantry formation here, infantry formation here with artillery in the center right. Yeah, I'll go center right, center left, left and right. And over here you have another infantry formation over there. On the French side, you have an overall commander, Suchet, right here. And then you also have 4 subordinate formations. One here. Where's the rest of it? I guess it's here, 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 and here.